Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of DFS Fantasy NFL Picks. Wow, almost said NASCAR, but this weekend I have been thinking about that. But yeah, it's cool. We have a second showdown to start off the season. Last night was pretty good. Didn't exactly get the nuts because I did have likely a lot as captain. I used the cheap captain build that I showed there, but I didn't have the right combination of some of the other guys to have the best lineup, but I did do pretty well. And I know Rod and Jay Scott did pretty well also, too, with their cores. So got another game here. It is Green Bay and Philly. It's not in Philadelphia. It's in Brazil, if you didn't weren't aware about that. Didn't see anything weird about the stadium, like when they play like baseball at Mexico City and score looks like a football game because they are so thin there, and weather looked decent, so I don't think that's going to be a concern either. So, how to build this one? Looks like I don't really want to go Hurts or Love at quarterback. I think it's pretty simple there, and kind of hard to get another Philly wide receiver in there. And like your lineup, especially playing both quarterbacks and captaining one of them. So Jacobs is who I want. I think he's going to be a bell cow for Green Bay. He's definitely going to be a workhorse. A.J. Dillon's out. They got a couple young guys behind him that might get some playing time, but I don't think that they're going to be too much of a factor here. I think Jacob's going to get most of the carries, so I love that for cash. And then to fill in, Barkley, I think is okay also. It's a little expensive to put in there, but you can do it if you're throwing like some kickers or at least one kicker and get another mid-range play in there. I think that he's definitely still got some left in the tank, especially early in the season sometimes with the passing game. Timing's off. We saw it evident last night, especially with the Baltimore offensive line that couldn't get the new rules for lining up on sides that they're watching for, and that's because they hardly ever play Monday minutes in the preseason game, and they just don't have the endurance, the chemistry, the timing. So sometimes that leads to better defense and better like running backs and stuff, and kickers doing well in some of these early games. But that's not always the case because we did see some scoring and some offense last night as they started to put things together. But I think Barkley's in play here, definitely. Watson is probably my favorite wide receiver for Green Bay if you are looking to compare somebody with Love, especially if he's healthy. I love the price tag at 5,600. And then if you look at the kickers, Elliott and Navarison, I think are in a good spot too there. So if GPP, I'm going to build with Devontae Smith, and then I'm going to put Jalen Hurts, and then I'm going to build like an onslaught with Philadelphia. So Green Bay, I'm going to run back with Reed. He's the one I like the most. I mean, it's so hard to figure out which one of these wide receivers is going to be the best for Green Bay. They have so many young, talented guys there, kind of like Cincinnati did at one point. But Reed's one that I know they build design plays for, like some runs out of the backfield and some things like that. So if they're going to be calling his number and they're behind and he's like in the playbook already when all the other guys like are just like might be randomized in how they get catches and targets, then give me him as the guy to run back if Philadelphia's out there doing well. GPP fill-ins like Wicks, I think, is another decent receiver, but a little bit expensive at 8,100. I think, just right behind Watson. Oh, wait, no, that would be his price that's Wick's price if he's, Wicks is 54. So, I mean, he's not that super expensive. I was looking at the price if he's your captain. But you have Goddard and Musgrove, the tight ends, I think are definitely going to play. And the Green Bay defense. I don't really like the Phillies defense unless you're going super contrarian. Phillies defense was awful last year. It gave up a lot of yardage to the passing game. Now they did spend some draft kicks and bring in a new coordinator and are working on that. But I want to see it all come together before I start putting money on it. But the Green Bay defense was okay. So I think in GPV. And for punts, like Dubes, Dotson, Kraft, and Wilson are some other guys that you can throw in there. If Kraft's in, you have to check on that. I know he was a little bit banged up, but Emmanuel Wilson is a running back, and Marshawn Lloyd can go in there also potentially as somebody that could be out there to spell Jacobs. And like I said, there's just so many Green Bay wide receivers. Just make sure that they're all active or activated and on the roster and not going to be sitting out for the game. And Dotson would be like the third wide receiver coming over from Washington, I believe, to be out there with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. But I don't think that really he's going to be a huge factor in it. We'll just have to see. If I'm building a contrarian one, I'm going to go with Barkley and the Eagles D. Like I said, I hate the Eagles D, but I don't think they're going to have a lot of ownership. And I'm building this as if I'm probably going to put like Hurts or Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown, or like it's going to be Eagle onslaught is the storyline. And then Barkley just continues to get the, maybe they have some red zone trouble and Barkley gets to poach some touchdowns. If Hurts doesn't get the brotherly shove there, but Barkley eats up time and gets a bunch of yards in the fourth quarter. The Eagles D was solid. I already captured the points from the offense and the flex, and then the kicker from Green Bay is the only one that does anything. So that's where I'm going to go with the contrarian one. And the cheap one, I love Musgrave as a tight end paired with Love and Hurts, and then it's a cheap enough core that you can build some other flex players around it. And if it's the same thing like Likely, where he just goes out and is the dominant tight end and pass catcher and catches a touchdown or two, then that could put you off to the races. So that's what I got. If you have a question, put in the chat below. Hit me up through one on Twitter or X. If you want more information on DFS, you can get into the description of the video. There's a link to our website there, and it's $6 a day to play. So you'll get all the full cores and everything in there. And it's great for weekend, like for Saturday and Sunday. So it's going to get you WNBA if there's games. Kurt's doing that still. We got baseball. We've got NFL football. We got college football if you can play in the state. We got NASCAR, MLB, like so many things. It's only $6 a day. So great value there. And